Hi, my name's Barry Parisien. I'm a denturist and the owner of the Parisien Denture Clinic in Windsor, Ontario. I had a question on one of my recent videos I put on YouTube. It was on the video for the immediate and transitional dentures. Nisi had asked, is a soft reline the same as a transitional reline? The place I went to will not do a soft reline until 3 months. Now, what she'd be referring to is 3 months after she had her teeth extracted is when they're saying that they do a soft reline. Now, I guess the biggest thing right now is just the terminology they're using. A soft reline and a transitional reline. Neither of those really, at least here in Ontario or Canada, are actual terms for a procedure. But a soft reline, what most people would consider a soft reline, is placing a soft liner in a lower denture it's normally placed in. Soft liners typically are not placed in upper dentures. What a soft liner is it acts like a cushion up against the gums in your lower denture because of the fact that a lower denture can move much more compared to the top denture. Since it's moving, it's kind of banging away at the gums and the bone more. So a soft liner for some people can definitely make a big difference. It just cushions the denture. Now, when they're saying a transitional reline, that to me, that sounds like what we would call a tissue conditioner. A tissue conditioner is a temporary lining that's put on the inside of the denture, and it acts, I guess you could say, as a temporary reline. And this might also be what they're talking about maybe as a soft reline too, because the tissue conditioning material is softer. It's not hard like the acrylic or the plastic. So they could be talking about that as well. So what you'll really want to do is ask them, say, is this a temporary lining that you're putting in, or is this a permanent lining? That will really narrow it down. If they say it's a temporary lining, then most likely it's what we call a tissue conditioner. And that is typically what would be done while the bone's healing from having teeth extracted. If they say it's a permanent lining and it's going to be soft, then you would be ending up with what's called a soft liner. Typically, one of the materials that is commonly used is this stuff called Malplast B. It's one of the most common ones. Another one that's commonly used is what's called a Lucy Soft. It's right up there at the top. That's another very common soft liner. But the thing you have to make sure of is that they don't do a permanent reline, whether it's a hard acrylic or soft lining material at 3 months. The bone generally is not finished healing by that point. I can almost absolutely guarantee that your denture will still get loose after, because the bone, especially if you've had a lot of teeth pulled, the bone takes at least 6 months to heal. Some people will take more. Diabetics, it'll take much longer. Smokers, it'll take longer to heal as well. And in that time, while the bone's healing, the bone continues to shrink. At the 3 month mark, the bone isn't shrinking that quickly, but it still is shrinking. So if they were to do a permanent reline, again, whether it's the hard or the soft material, if they do the permanent reline at 3 months, your denture, you'll notice, probably give it 3 weeks, maybe before that, but probably 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, you'll notice your denture will be moving around again. So I definitely would recommend having tissue conditioners placed or a temporary lining placed in the meantime until somewhere around the 6 month mark, when the bone is typically finished healing. But there's no definite number on that. Basically, what I would do is I do these tissue conditioners or temporary linings for my patients until we see that the bone's finished healing. And normally we kind of gauge on when the bone's finished healing is when you can go about 4 to 5 weeks after having a lining placed, that the denture is still good and solid. So if you can go those, let's say 5 weeks, almost a month and a half, and there's no change in the fit at that point, then it's a pretty good indication that the bone's finished healing from having the teeth extracted. So I hope that answers your question as to what a soft reline could be, what a transitional reline could be. Like I say, really ask them. The first question is if it's going to be a temporary lining or a permanent lining, and that should narrow it down a lot. All right, so if you have any comments or questions, please put them down below. Or if you have any suggestions for videos, please just let me know too. Take care.